Hello, I'm Jeff McNeil, and I want to talk briefly about Borderlands 3. And some of the things I'm concerned about, some of the things I'd like to see, just my general thoughts at this point. Now, I'm not, like, a major Borderlands player. I like Borderlands, but honestly, I've never been terribly good at it. My highest character is a gauge at level 54. Just so, take this as a casual player's opinion, because that is exactly what I am.
Unexpected.
So, my biggest concern about the game is accessibility. As far as a lot of content in Borderlands 2 is concerned, it's not really accessible to solo players. The most common, which, of course, being raid bosses, which is fine. I mean, it's fine to have, challenges that 4 players can accomplish together. But as a solo player, I also want to be able to play it, to enjoy it, to get the loot, and for the most part, I can't do that as a solo player. Now, there are ways to do it, of course. No. People always go on about Salvador as, the solo player's best friend, and, that is true. Though personally, in my limited time with Salvador, I haven't found him to be particularly amazing, but once again, I'm just a casual. But yeah, so much of the game's content and best loot is not available to me. I managed to beat Hyperion on my gauge, and it was not easy to do.
Explosives!
I had to abuse things like the bee. And I feel that is kind of against the spirit of the game when you're forced to use exploits, but I did manage to beat Hyperius. And he's the only one I've managed to beat. I haven't been able to beat Pyro Pete or any of the other so-called easy raid bosses. And that's a lot of content that I just can't do. I will never realistically be able to do this. I've tried to beat Hyperius a few times, and people are talking about how he's relatively easy and exploitable. No. Whenever I try, I have all the equipment. He just kills me. So, I want the game to be more accessible to solo players, because not everywhere has really good internet. And I'm one of those people who don't have really good internet. So, I have to do all this by myself. That's why you'll never see me in any of my videos, like Dark Souls or anything. I will never play with others. I can't. The internet in my area simply doesn't allow it. So, my huge concern with Borderlands 3 is it's going to be more of Borderlands 2, where...
Knock, bitches! Open up!
Oh, where so much of the game just is not acceptable to me. And that little scene right there brings up another point. Enemy boxes. I don't think we need enemy boxes anymore. The technology is there. They can spawn enemies, around the area. I shouldn't have to basically be in an enemy firing range before they appear. So, getting rid of enemy boxes, just having enemies around would certainly make things more interesting. Because the moment a firefight begins, you have to go by the assumption that there's going to be a lot of reinforcements. Like, a ridiculous amount of reinforcements. You kill one enemy and then 3 more will come out of the ground or something. I mean, see, kill this guy, and see, enemies just coming out of nowhere. And, you know, this is something that is true for the entire series, and I don't think it has to be that way anymore. The technology is there. They can do better. I wish they would be a little more explicit with red text. A lot of the red text is kind of obscure, but I don't think it needs to be. I mean, having flavor text is nice, but just tell me what my legendaries do without me having to go to the wiki or, you know, use something and then end up blowing myself up because it has, you know, massive explosive radius that just a little more, less wiki. I don't know why that didn't work, but yeah, my biggest concern is I want the game more balanced for players like me who just play on their own. So I must admit I'm not particularly fond of the new Vault Hunter's design, but you know, that's something that can grow on you where you can wear different cosmetics. Oh, speaking of which, microtransactions can go suck an egg. There's my whole opinion on that entire situation. Micro cosmetics, and if I can't earn it in game, I don't want it in the game because there's no point as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, I want the game to be more balanced. I want it to be fun. I probably won't buy the game when it comes out just because I know there will be DLC, and you know my opinion on microtransaction and my opinion on DLC isn't any different. But you know, I want the game to be fun. I want it to be accessible. I want it to be enjoyable. And you know, I want that above all else, because to me, that's Borderlands' greatest strength. And when you've got something like Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, honestly, I don't think there's any justification for Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. I think it's an absolute sham of a difficulty. It's not fun. It's absolutely not fun when the game just straight up is like, yeah, no, you got the game, you can play the game, but you're never going to complete the game because you don't have really good internet. And I don't agree with that. Yes, obviously skill should be a factor, but just let me play. Just let me have fun, please. There's no reason that it should be so massively frustrating just trying to play a game. I mean, difficulty's fine. You need to have some difficulty for a game to be rewarding, but there's gotta be a better way than just everyone does 50,000 times more damage. Shields are now irrelevant because everything will one-shot you. Enemies regenerate health, are immune to all types of damage. Just no. There has to be a better way. So yeah, that's basically all I wanted to say. So this has been Jeff McNeil. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.